One thing is for sure, I found out something. It's something that everybody has known this entire time. Daniel Jones's ass. But you,
Weirdly, I was expecting something towards Atlanta on that one, if I'm being honest.
but you know what's not ass? Knicks Picks. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Picks. It is week 11 of the regular season, and I am joined, as I am always, by Ben. Ben, week 11 of the NFL season is here. That was probably one of my best in a while, so
Yeah.
that was pretty good. Got anything to say? I guess I'm just done talking.
No, like I said, depression. I mean, we'll get into obviously the games. I haven't recovered. I know we record on Tuesdays, but I think even if we recorded on like a Thursday to turn out Thursday, I think I still wouldn't have recovered.
Yeah, that's kind of the rough part about the fact that we record on Tuesdays is when our teams do ass, we come in here super disappointed, and it's authentic because it just fucking happened. No slower this week. It is just Ben and I. We're on a little bit more of a time crunch this week, so no slower this week, but he'll be back. I promise. So let's get into this week 10 recap, which ended again with zero change in the score at all. It's still a 2-point lead by me. Only had two differs last week, the Giants game and the 49ers game. We split again, as we always do. So let's get into this. And it started with actually a good game on Thursday night, the Bengals and the Ravens. Shout out to everybody who had Jamar Chase on your fantasy team. I know Amber did for at least my one league that I still can't get into. Still can't get into any of my fantasy leagues, by the way. So, it is what it is.
I've lost track in fantasy. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, it is what it is at this point. But the Ravens win an absolute thriller against the Bengals. I feel sorry for the Bengals. I think the Bengals are the most, I'm sorry team.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say, but they have played super well. Joe Burrow has played really well. Jamar Chase has played really well. And their record just doesn't show it.
Yeah, Joe Burrow is I think, he's leading the league in passing. And he should be an MVP candidate, but outside of him and Jamar, they got nothing.
Well, as promised, Germany game did not live up to anything. It was the Panthers and the Giants. It, again, proved Daniel Jones' ass, as I said in the intro. I mean,
it was a game.
The Giants... I don't even want to talk about the Giants. The Panthers beat the Giants. Let's move the fuck on. The Chiefs were this close to losing their undefeated streak. And I'm surprised I didn't get an absolute just barrage of messages from Slower after this blocked field goal saying how scripted the NFL is. I don't even have an excuse anymore. I don't have any. I have nothing.
I know. The only thing I've seen is the jokes of Taylor Swift using devil magic to keep the Chiefs undefeated. And sometimes it's just funny, but sometimes okay, this is legit. We need to yeah.
This is a problem.
Speaking of problems.
Speaking of problems, Mike Tomlin is a fucking problem.
Yeah.
If we're talking voodoo magic, if we're talking the Chiefs being 9-0, they have the best quarterback in the league. They have one of the best tight ends in the league. They have one of the best head coaches in the league. They have a really good defense. Them being 9-0 isn't exactly voodoo magic. I mean, them getting blocked field goals and flags whenever the fuck they want is a little voodoo. But the Steelers having a 7-2 record right now is a problem because that just means Mike Tomlin is a wizard or a genie or what is Mike Tomlin?
He's a man that knows what the camera is because he saw the camera and just give a little. I don't even remember what I had. I think we both had the Steelers as fourth place.
We both had them below 500, that's for sure.
I think we both said for the past 2 years that this is going to be the first year under 500. Nope.
They're 2 wins away from it not happening, and we're in week 11. The Vikings beat the Jaguars 12-7. So, I mean, really, was it impressive by the Vikings at all? I kind of skipped over the Giants one, so I'll give you a pass if you really don't want to talk about this, but it's up to you.
I'm more okay. I'm not.
I would like to point out I did say that the Falcons could very well lose this game, but anyway, go on.
See, I can't even shit on the Giants because you'll just join in on that. So I can't. Fuck you. I'm not upset that they lost. Weirdly, it's how they lost. I don't know. I really don't know. I got no analysis. I have nothing. I have no idea how the fuck it happened. I really don't. And Koo missed 3 field goals, which whatever.
Well, lucky for you, the 49ers beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so you didn't lose 2 points on me this week, on top of the fact that the Falcons suck. So you had something going for you.
At least I know the Bucs are also trash.
The Bills went on to beat the Colts. The Patriots are actually looking pretty good with Drake May, 19-3 over the Chicago Bears. However, Chicago Bears, on the other hand, haven't been looking very good, so that could have something to do with it. They did fire their offensive coordinator, so we'll see if we'll see if that helps Caleb Williams in this offense a little bit more. Chargers beat the Titans. Eagles beat the Cowboys as we all expected. Apparently, they shouldn't have built a stadium that has sun going straight through, because that totally impacted a 34-6 game. But that's what we'll focus on. The Lions and the Texans game was super fucking ugly. Jared Goff, 5 interceptions himself. Stroud had 2. Just a sloppy game, and yet somehow the Lions managed to win this game, and that, I think, proves more than anything that the Lions are for real, because if you're winning games like this where Jared Goff is playing his absolute fucking worst, that means this team is just too talented.
Like we said last week, like, this is the game that proves it for both teams. Like, does this prove that the Lions are for real, and does it show how close the Texans are? And I still have confidence in Houston, because they still played well in the first half.
The Texans' defense definitely proved that they can compete with good offenses, because they did kind of stop the run game. They did do everything that their defense needed to do to keep the Lions out of this game.
It showed more that this is just a very young and inexperienced team, and the Lions are a very mature team. So that's what this game showed to me, at least.
And finishing it off Monday night with the Dolphins beating the Rams 23-15. Honestly, didn't think the Dolphins were going to win much at all the rest of this season. The Rams are kind of one of those teams where it's like every other week they're good, every other week they're bad. We'll get into that with our week 11 picks, but I didn't watch any of this game. So do you have any analysis on this game as to why the Dolphins actually won?
I watched a little bit. The Rams defense did okay. Tua looks like he just wants to get another concussion. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I saw the jokes, and then I actually watched it, and like, okay, what is he doing? This is just a game that, like, the Dolphins just had a good game. I don't think this says a lot about either team personally, but I didn't really watch much. I just think it's just Rams had an off night, because I think they're better than what this game was, at least.
But with all that being said, like I said at the beginning of the episode, the current score of Nick's picks is 103-101. I do have a 2-point lead, but we both cracked the triple-digit mark already. I don't exactly know where we cracked it last year, but last year was totally different points-wise. Yeah. So not really a comparison, really. A lot could happen going into this week, as we have 3 differs going into this week. So no split. Somebody is gaining a point at least on somebody, potentially 3 points. This could be a swing.
I want you to know, if there's in our differs a tie, I want this clip to play at the start of the episode.
It's just going to be a slow-mo of me saying no chance that we can tie this week. No chance that we split.
What's up a tie score?
Yeah, so let's get into the week 11 picks, and boom, they are up on the screen right now for you guys to look at. Pause the video to take a look at your special little team and see what we said about them. But let's get into our week 11 picks. And it starts with another good game on Thursday night with the Eagles and the Commies. I do think that this is going to be a little bit more of a blowout, honestly, though, than it's kind of being hyped up to be. I hate to say it. I loved watching the Commies run to begin this season, but I think this is the point of the season where the Commies start to hit that decline. They're hitting a tougher part of their schedule, and I just don't think they're ready yet to be playing that level of competition. I think the Eagles are a good 2 steps ahead of the Commies right now, and I think it's going to show on Thursday night. Although, I mean, I would love to see the Commies come out and just absolutely dominate this game and make me eat those words, but I just don't see it.
Here's the thing. I don't see this being a close game for either team. I see, even though I predicted it to be a close game on the score, I could 100% see the Eagles blow out the Commies, or the Commies blow out the Eagles, because I don't feel confident in the Eagles defense. I mean, the Eagles offense is still very talented, but the Eagles defense I still think isn't the greatest. And even though the Commies isn't much better, good enough to where I think it can cause problems for Jalen Hurts and even potentially Saquon Barkley.
Giants don't have a game this Sunday. The Falcons, will get to that one in a little bit. So we start the Sunday games with an AFC North matchup that at the beginning of the season, I did not think this game would be interesting at all. And this turns into a 7-2 Steelers team hosting a 7-3 Baltimore Ravens team. I almost like threw up trying to say that sentence out loud. I don't understand
it didn't
how
seem
this
legit. No,
it doesn't sound real. And of course, I'm not picking the Steelers, which means the Steelers are probably going to win this game. But
I thought I should have picked the Steelers, but
I don't have any analysis on this game because apparently I don't know shit about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think this is gonna I don't think this is gonna be a good game. Not because like I think the Ravens are gonna outperform the other team. I just think this is gonna just be this is going to be a defensive game. Like, this is going to be just sloppy. I don't think either quarterback's going to do great. I don't think either offense is going to do great. I think it's just going to be who can have the less mistakes.
We do have quite a few boring games this week. There is actually two differs in here with all the boring games. The Lions and the Jaguars isn't really all that interesting of a game, but we're both picking the Lions in this one. These next two, we do have a differ on. It is the Patriots going up against the Rams. You are going with the Rams. I'm going with the Patriots. Patriots have been hot lately, so that's the only reason I'm leaning Patriots. I think the Rams, again, it's every other week with them. By that logic, this would be their on week, but I'm going with the fact that they go 2 in a row. And then the Saints and the Browns is another differ that we have. Been going with Browns, I think just because you're salty. And then
there's no analysis. Fuck the Saints.
But I do think they've been playing better than the Browns. But your Patriots, Rams.
Breathe on the Browns though. I think the Saints fuck the Saints anyways. With the Rams, I think last week was just kind of an off week. I think if they can get the offense going with Stafford, with Kupp, with Puka, they have the talent to do really well, and this is a very good Patriots defense, so it is, I think, going to cause problems, but I still think the Rams, again, they're going to pull away just barely at the end. That's just how I think it's going to happen.
Another bunch of boring games here. The Colts and the Jets, don't think it's going to be all that exciting. We both think the Colts are going to win. I really don't think either team scores more than 20 in that game. Vikings and the Texans could also see not having either team score more than 20. I mean, it happened last week with the Vikings game. The Dolphins and the Raiders, I think, is just going to be an ugly game, and hopefully Tua can keep his head clear. And then the Packers and the Bears, I just assume the Packers are going to continue owning Chicago. We get to your game. It is the Broncos and the Falcons. I mean, we both picked the Broncos, obviously. I was going to pick the Falcons, but then I was like, no, if he picks the Broncos, then I don't want to lose that pick by picking your team. That would be...
That's a very valid...
That would hurt. So I went with the Broncos, hoping that you were picking the Falcons and that, I would hopefully get this point over you. I just think the Broncos defense is going to absolutely stifle you guys. It has nothing to do with Bo Nix. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's just...
I think this is a defensive game, and I think, weirdly, instead of saying whoever has the better offense wins, my opinion, it's whoever has the better defense, and it's 100% the Broncos defense. They have far better defense, and plus Atlanta's offense hasn't been good the last couple weeks, so they're kind of like stalling, and because of that, going against a good defense, I think it's just a bad week for Atlanta. It's just a bad matchup.
The 49ers going up against the Seahawks this week, don't think it's going to be too close of a game. I think the 49ers are finally starting to hit their stride, and now with Christian McCaffrey in his second game back, hopefully he really starts to catch his stride to start this season as the 49ers start to try to turn things around. And we get to our final differ of the week before we get to the two primetime games. It is the Chiefs and the Bills, and Ben thinks somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to end this run for the Chiefs. And you think it's going to be Buffalo. I mean, on paper, the Bills are the more likely team to get it done. It's in Buffalo, so that this is the best chance for Buffalo to do it. The reason I'm going with the Chiefs has really nothing to do with like this game at all. I really hope that the Chiefs win this game. I really, genuinely, as a football fan, hope that the Chiefs win this game and not Buffalo, because these two teams are going to meet again in the postseason. And I would much rather the Chiefs win this one than that one. That is the only reason I am sticking with Kansas City. Plus, I've said it before, I can't bet against Kansas City.
The only counter to that I would say is the Bills don't need extra motivation. They have all the motivation against the Chiefs just based on history. So it's like whether they blow out the Chiefs here or they win a close one, if they mean the playoffs, they know they have not beaten them in the postseason. So that's already enough for the Bills when it comes to that. I think this is just going to come down to just Josh Allen I will say this right now. If Josh Allen has a good game, the Bills win this game. Even if Mahomes has a good game, if Josh Allen lights up against this Chiefs defense, which I don't know where they're ranked, but it has to be like top 5, top 3 in the league. That's enough for me to feel confident in the Bills winning. Could there be some devil magic happening? Probably. Do I think it's going to happen? Yeah, 50-50. But I think because it's in Buffalo, I give them the edge in that regard.
As we said earlier, the Bengals have been one of the better teams this season statistically in pretty much every category, and yet they're, I think, below 500 right now, but they're going up against the Chargers this week. Chargers have been pretty mediocre all year, to say the least. Do you think the Bengals win this one? And then the Battle of Texas on Monday night, you would have thought would have been an interesting game at one point during the season, and apparently Cooper Rush, I need to have a word with you. Just because you are the backup quarterback to Dak Prescott and you are learning from him in training camp and you are learning from him in practice every week doesn't mean you need to do his, yeah, here we go, cadence.
Actually?
Yes!
Here we go. Is the career since last week.
He fucking does the cadence!
I knew there was a video. I know there was a video of Trey Lance doing. I shouldn't laugh, but that's actually funny. That's like legit. That's actually kind of funny.
That rounds out our Week 11 predictions. We do have 3 differs this week. It is going to be pretty interesting because, like I said, there's no chance we tie this week. No chance. So either you're going to catch up a point, I'm going to gain a point, you're going to take the lead by 1 by getting all 3 of them, or I'm going to be up 5 going into next week. Those are the only options. Those are the only things that can happen. Ben, is there anything you want to say about that before we head out of here?
If there's a fucking tie. No, I mean, this is a weird week. There isn't really, outside of the Chiefs and Bills, and I guess technically Thursday night, there isn't really many games.
We really
that
highlighted the 3 good games. I think Eagles, Commies, Ravens, Steelers, and Chiefs, Bills are like the highlight games of this week, and only one of them I'm like, yay to watch.
I'm really surprised Bills Chiefs wasn't Sunday night.
Can you imagine Tony Romo and Chris Collinsworth together calling a Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen game? Dude, I just made every NFL fan cringe so fucking hard by saying that.
I don't know, Jim.
That is it for Nick's Picks Week 11. I hope you guys enjoyed this week. Have a great one. Peace. You know what's hilarious? Being able to go through an entire week of Knicks picks in which the Giants don't even fucking play, and I'm actually still mad at I still go through the entire recording session just angry at the fact that I'm a Giants fan. They don't even fucking play this week. Maybe next week would be a little better because I'm not coming off of a loss, but
okay. Maybe it's not. I really don't care. Bye, guys.
You're a fucking Falcons fan. Is it okay, Ben? Is it okay? Is it okay?
It's never okay.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. Now bye, guys. It's my show.